Vygotsky is recognized as one of the most influential figures in developmental psychology and educational theory. His work, developed in the Soviet Union during a time of intellectual and political change, sought to understand how human cognition develops within social, cultural, and historical contexts. Unlike earlier models that focused on individual or biological factors, Vygotsky emphasized the importance of social interaction and culture in shaping learning. His theories remained largely unknown in the West until decades after his death, but since the 1960s, they have become central to educational practice. Today, Vygotsky's sociocultural theory continues to inform classroom pedagogy, curriculum design, and inclusive education. Constructivism is a foundational theory in education, asserting that learners actively build their own understanding rather than passively absorb information. There are two main branches: cognitive constructivism, associated with Piaget, which focuses on individual meaning-making, and social constructivism, championed by Vygotsky, which highlights the role of social interaction. Both theorists agree that knowledge is constructed, but Vygotsky's perspective emphasizes that this process is fundamentally shaped by culture, language, and collaboration. This distinction sets the stage for understanding how learning happens in real-world contexts, especially in classrooms. Piaget and Lev Vygotsky both contributed to constructivist theory, but their approaches differ significantly. Piaget believed that development precedes learning, focusing on universal stages and individual discovery. In contrast, Vygotsky argued that learning drives development and is context-dependent, shaped by social interaction and cultural tools. Piaget saw language as a reflection of thought, while Vygotsky viewed language as a tool that shapes thinking. Understanding these differences helps educators appreciate the unique contributions of each theorist and informs how they design learning experiences for students. Vygotsky's sociocultural theory posits that all higher mental functions originate in social interaction. He famously stated that every function in a child's cultural development appears twice, first on the social level, then on the individual level. This means learning begins between people, such as a teacher guiding a student, and is later internalized by the learner. For example, a child solving math problems may initially rely on a teacher's help, but eventually performs independently. This process highlights the importance of social context in cognitive development. Vygotsky introduced the concept of mediated learning, arguing that human cognition is always shaped by tools. These tools can be physical, like books and digital devices, or psychological, such as language, symbols, and numbers. The tools available in a culture influence how individuals think and interact with the world. For instance, numeracy practices differ across societies, affecting mathematical thinking. This perspective underscores that cognition is not universal, but is shaped by cultural practices and symbolic systems. Internalization is the process by which external social activities become internal mental processes. According to Vygotsky, learning precedes development, reversing Piaget's claim that development must occur before learning. The stages of internalization include external interaction, guided participation, self-guided action, private speech, and automatic internal thinking, inner speech. This process demonstrates how learners move from relying on others to thinking independently, highlighting the transformative power of social interaction in education. Zone of proximal development, ZPD, is Vygotsky's most significant contribution. It refers to the gap between what a learner can achieve independently and what they can accomplish with guidance. Teaching within the ZPD means providing optimal challenge and support, focusing on potential rather than current performance. Vygotsky distinguished between actual development level, potential development level, and tasks beyond current capability. Effective teaching occurs within the ZPD, where learners are supported to reach new heights. Traditional assessments often measure what a learner knows independently, but Vygotsky advocated for dynamic assessment. This approach evaluates learning potential, responsiveness to support, and problem-solving processes. Dynamic assessment is especially important for identifying learners' capacities rather than their limitations. It aligns with constructivist principles by focusing on growth and adaptability, offering a more nuanced understanding of student progress and needs. Scaffolding, a term introduced by Bruner and colleagues, is rooted in Vygotsky's theory. It refers to the temporary support provided to learners, enabling them to complete tasks within their ZPD. Types of scaffolding include cognitive modeling thinking, instructional structuring tasks, and emotional encouragement and motivation. Key processes involve modeling, prompting, feedback, fadding, and transfer of responsibility. Classroom examples include teachers thinking aloud, providing sentence starters, and using worked examples before independent practice. Vygotsky argued that language is central to cognitive development. Rather than being a byproduct of thought, language actively shapes thinking. The stages of speech development include social speech, communication with others, private speech, self-directed for problem-solving, and inner speech, silent, internal thought. Private speech is crucial for guiding behavior, supporting self-regulation, and reflecting cognitive development in action. Teachers should encourage verbal reasoning, structured dialogue, and collaborative discussion. Vygotsky's theory strongly supports collaborative learning, including group work, peer tutoring, and cooperative learning. These approaches expose learners to different perspectives and promote deeper understanding. Collaborative learning aligns with constructivist principles, emphasizing that knowledge is co-constructed through interaction and shared activity. Educators can foster collaboration by designing group-based activities and encouraging peer teaching. Teaching within the ZPD naturally leads to differentiated instruction, where tasks are adjusted to learner ability, support levels vary, and progression is personalized. This approach ensures that all students are challenged appropriately and receive the support they need to succeed. Differentiation is a practical application of constructivist and Vygotskian principles, making learning accessible and meaningful for diverse learners. Modern learning environments extend Vygotsky's ideas through technology. AI tutors, online collaboration tools, and interactive simulations act as cognitive mediators, supporting learning and knowledge construction. Technology enables new forms of collaboration and scaffolding, making constructivist and sociocultural approaches more accessible. Educators can leverage these tools to enhance engagement and personalize instruction. Despite its strengths, Vygotsky's theory has limitations. He did not provide clear developmental stages, making application less systematic than Piaget's model. Teachers may struggle to identify each learner's ZPD and provide individualized scaffolding, especially in large classrooms. Some critics argue that Vygotsky overemphasizes social interaction and underestimates independent discovery, biological maturation, and individual cognitive differences. Additionally, modern globalized contexts introduce cultural complexities that his framework does not fully address. Vygotsky's sociocultural and constructivist theories remain highly relevant for educators today. They support learner-centered approaches, active engagement, and knowledge construction. Teachers are seen as facilitators, guides, and co-constructors of knowledge. These ideas align with modern priorities such as collaboration, critical thinking, communication, and lifelong learning. By embracing both constructivist and sociocultural perspectives, educators can create rich learning environments where students actively construct knowledge and benefit from the support and insight of others.